Is everyone following that Drake-Kendrick Lamar beef? Oh man, poor Drake. It's one thing to be called a pedophile, it's another for people to dance to you getting called a pedophile. It's in a song, Kendrick Lamar called Drake a certified pedophile. And here's the thing. Technically speaking, Drake is not a pedophile. And just hear me out for 1 second. The term pedophile refers to people who are attracted to those that are prepubescent. Then there's something called a hebephile, that's people who are attracted to those in the early stages of puberty, like 11, 12, 13, 14. And then there's something called an ephebophile, and there's people who are attracted to those in the later stages of puberty, like 15, 16, 17, 18. But I think the reason we don't make those distinctions is because it's very hard to explain the difference without sounding like a pedophile. I originally wrote that joke about R. Kelly, now it's about Drake. That's the beauty of pedophile jokes, they're evergreen. Like their victims, they never get old.
I was nervous, I'll be honest. I don't know if you saw, a couple months ago, there was a comedy club in North Carolina where an audience member pulled out a gun. And I always get scared if that ever happens at one of my shows. There won't be enough people for a mass shooting. But I feel great about tonight, so thank you so much for coming out. I recently went to my first ever gun show. And I'm not like into guns or anything, but I was in Florida and I figured I'd learn about their culture. and they had every kind of gun you can imagine. They had tables of AR-15s, M16s, AK-47s. Not that I know the difference between any of those. Like, it's hard to keep track because that's their LGBTQIA2+. They get pissed when you call it the wrong name. And before I could even start wandering around, this young woman, she ran up to me and handed me a free pocket Constitution. And I was shocked she could read. And when she handed it to me, she was like, "Did you know they don't even teach the Second Amendment in schools anymore?" And I was like, "Don't you think they're getting enough hands-on experience?" Not what I said. I wanted to, but I was scared. I was terrified the whole time I was there that some crazy motherfucker was gonna show up to the gun show and just start shooting up the place. But then I was like, wait a second. No one would be crazy enough to even try that because everyone here has a gun. I mean, maybe there'd be no more mass shootings if everyone had it. I have to get the fuck out of Florida right now. What the fuck? It's a good argument. I'll give you that. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Makes a lot of sense if you've never seen me shoot a gun. Because I went to a shooting range at the gun show. And let me tell you, if I tried stopping a mass shooter, you would think we were in it together. The news would be like, a mass shooter and his blind accomplice stormed the gun show, taking out 14 windows and lighting fixtures. But there's no point debating any of this stuff. Everyone's already made up their minds when it comes to guns and guns rights. I always know in arguments over when someone says to me, "What would the founding fathers think?" Buddy, I don't care what my regular father thinks. Try again. If Benjamin Franklin were alive today, he'd be like, "What's a poke bowl?" He would not give a shit about any of us. And liberals can be very hypocritical when it comes to guns, especially Hollywood. Everyone in Hollywood claims to be anti-guns, and then they make more gun movies. If you're anti-guns, make more karate films. Sure, that's way safer than guns. I'd much rather be kicked by Alec Baldwin, wouldn't you? Why did they resume filming on that movie? Because how do you give it a positive review? Rolling Stone says, worth it. Vanity Fair, Baldwin never misses.
What do you do here in Poughkeepsie?
I'm retired.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't, I don't have my glasses, but you look young.
I'm retired law enforcement.
Oh, how you doing all of a sudden? You retired early, it seems like, did you?
I love people too much. Yeah. So.
Really?
No.
Wow, I was like, wow, we finally found the good apple. Why did you retire? Tell me.
I got into a fight with 6 guys at the same time, true story, and they ripped my shoulder out of my socket, and so I had 3 surgeries and it's still not repaired. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when you saw all 6 of them, were you like, I got this shit? Did you thought, I can take all 6?
I was on a lot of steroids at the time, so yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. The plot thickens. Do a lot of cops take steroids?
All of them. Yeah.
All of them, yeah. That's part of the whole curriculum, I guess, too. That's not helping with anything. I guess when you take the steroid, it's above the body camera, so no one catches you. You got a nice pension, I imagine?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I guess, a retired cop is my second favorite kind of cop, so. That was a riff, please. Don't tell me you're still taking the steroids, okay? I need 5 more guys to get this guy to the ground, please.
I wasn't a cop, for the record.
Oh, what were you?
I was a correction officer.
Oh, God. You thought that was gonna win some points with this audience? You're like, oh, guys, don't worry. I just turned on the electric chair. You worked here in Poughkeepsie?
Westchester County.
Yeah. What kind of maximum security?
Maximum security jail, yeah.
Yeah. Fun job? Good food? Nice community? Sometimes. Like, there were 6 guys I wasn't a big fan of, personally.
All right. Well, it was 5 guys being up 1 guy. And I had to save the 1 guy, so I took on the 5 guys, but then I accidentally killed the 6th guy.
Oh my God! Jesus, that's not a funny joke at all, motherfucker! Leave the jokes to me, you tell me the facts! Wow, that was worrisome. I was like, oh shit, why did I let him keep going with the story? No, it's fine. You're retired, it looks like, you've dedicated the rest of your life to 5 guys. I'm not going to talk about politics a lot because I don't know what they're like here. And there's a bodybuilder in the front row who looks on the opposite side of my spectrum. But here's what I'll say. Political affiliations aside. Put your affiliation aside. How the fuck is anyone still on the fence? Who the fuck is still on the fence? I want to meet these people because I want to see how do they get through the rest of the day. I want to find them. I imagine they're all stuck at a fork in the road, just thinking what they're going to order for dinner 4 fucking years ago. I don't, you know my political views. I'm a Jew from New York. When I raise my shirt, you can see my gutters. You know who I voted for every election I've been allowed to. My brother's Bernie Sanders would be president. I remember I told my mom, she's an old school, my mom, yes, thank you. That's everyone who voted for him in Wisconsin. Thank you so much. I told my mom, she's a big Democrat. I told her, I remember way back in 2016, I said, I like Bernie Sanders, and she said, nah. He's too loud. And I think that's the day I stopped believing in democracy. And people say, they say, okay, you don't like democracy, name a better system. One in which my mom cannot vote. That is my only requirement. I don't want to take women's right to vote, but if that's what it takes to get my
to stop voting, I will do it. I don't know. I think. It's hard to even talk. It's hard to even make comedy about politics because it's all dumb. The way we talk about it is dumb. When they were deciding Kamala being the nominee, I remember the news would be like, is America ready for a black Indian woman president? And I was like, are we allowed to talk like that anymore? You know, it feels honestly when we talk about politics, we kind of use the same kind of blunt language we do with pornography. You know what I mean? That's when you put in Google, you'd be like, black Indian woman, middle-aged busty. But the things you want in porn are usually the opposite of what you want in politics. You know, in porn, everyone's fine with 2 women on their ticket, but not really. And then the other way around, you know? You're never like, okay, for my porn search, black Indian woman, who else do I mix this with? I know, the oldest, most boring white guy we could possibly find. That'll really round out the interracial gang. I see those of you who have not laughed for the last 5 minutes. I have kept it pretty nonpartisan, I gotta say. I don't know. I just think everything we talk about, it's I love where they just go, oh, I want an outsider. Imagine if you were hiring a plumber and I was like, oh, you gotta try my plumber. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, okay? He's never even seen this shit before. I think we need to add back a little bit of the stigma around mental illness. Because my friends will not shut the fuck up about it. You're pointing?
I'm going to PhD school in clinical psychology.
In clinical psychology?
I do.
Okay, so you have a financial interest in removing the stigma. We need to remove the block around spending money on my useless degree. I'm joking. A PhD in clinical psychology, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do when you have that degree?
Research.
Research. Okay. What are you interested in studying? Is that why you got the front row seats? You're like research.
It's an experiment right now.
Yeah. What are you interested in studying?
Community-based interventions with kids.
With kids?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like anything, but give me a little you're talking.
I'm running like group sessions right now around Brooklyn and organizations.
Yeah.
With kids, about like social emotional learning.
How old are the kids?
10 to 15.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
And what do you say to them?
Well, recently I've had to be strict because they're not super like, they're like a little bit disruptive in their class.
Sure. The 10 to 15.
Yes.
When you say strict, like hitting?
No.
And in conclusion, sometimes violence is the answer. What's your version of disciplining? Because back in the day, I'm not saying it's right, but clearly back in the day, they used to, my father was raised by nuns, and he said they always hit him with a ruler.
I'm Asian, so yes.
Thank you for saying it so I did not have to. Okay, did your parents discipline you in like what did they do?
With hangers? Yeah.
Hangers?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wire hangers.
Wire hangers. Okay, because in America we have to use those for abortions. Not the good hanger. We use that for your sister. Wait, so they use hangers? I've never heard of hangers. So where would you hold it? You hold it on the hook and you show it on her. You for a second you're like
The other end, and then just like whack.
the other end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so and to be fair, now you have a PhD. Anyone have any questions for me?
Ask him what he does.
Okay. Sure. Not so much a question as a demand, but
What do you do?
I'm a psychiatry resident.
You're a psychiatry resident.
Yeah.
We got it, boys. You're a resident. Oh, you're studying it.
Yeah, I'm in training.
Oh, I thought you were like. To be fair, you're wearing all black. There's no belt, no shoe. Okay, so what are you studying?
So I'm doing my residency in Louisiana, but I'm doing my child fellowship in New York next month.
Your child fellowship?
Yeah. So to manage and treat mental health in children, you need to do a 2-year fellowship.
A 2-year fellowship.
Yes.
Okay, so what's more impressive,
Yeah.
PhD or child fellowship?
A PhD is 6 years and I haven't started.
Okay, 6 years, but you haven't started. 2 years, and have you started?
I started in July. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you're both nothing. I'm a pilot. I'm thinking about flying someday. Would your fields ever cross?
Absolutely. She does the public health stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
want to
do.
help like foster care youth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bunch of potential heroes in the front row. I hope I'm impressed someday. That's like if there was a little kid here and you're like, ask them what they do for work. I'm gonna be president someday. Cool. It's a 4-year program.